Lesson 1-10, the coordinate plane. So now we're going to talk about how integers, negative and positive numbers, are graphed on this quadrant grid. A coordinate plane is formed by the intersection of two number lines. One runs horizontally and one runs vertically. The line that goes horizontal we call the x-axis. So some way you just need to remember that the horizontal is the x. The vertical line we call our y-axis. It runs up and down. When these intersect, it creates four squares that we call quadrants. Quadrant 1, and we represent these with Roman numerals, is in the top right corner. Then we move counterclockwise. So quadrant 2 is over here on the left. Quadrant 3 is bottom left, and bottom right is quadrant 4, which is represented by a 1 and a V in Roman numerals. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's important that you know the order of the quadrants. In the very middle is what we call the origin. The coordinate point for this origin is 0, 0. Because we haven't moved any on the x-axis and we haven't moved any on the y-axis, we're right at 0, 0. When we plot points on our coordinate plane, we call them an ordered pair. They give the location of a point. And we always put them in parentheses. So remember this right now, that whenever you give a coordinate point, you have to include parentheses. So right here, they have parentheses, -5, -4. The first integer in an ordered pair is the x-coordinate. It shows you which position left or right do we need to go. The second integer is the y-coordinate. It shows you the position up or down that you need to go. So to plot this point, you always start at the origin. We need to go -5. Well, going right is positive, going left is negative. So I'm going to move 5 to the left. Okay, and then we have to go -4. Going up is positive, going down is negative. So I went -5, got to get back to my spot here, and now I'm going to go down 4. And there's my point right there. I can label it if I want, -5, -4. So let's do a little practice with naming coordinates. So if I ask, what is the ordered pair for the point A? Start at your origin, see how far you have to go over. We went over a -2. So my x-coordinate is -2. And looks like I went up. So that's a +1. So that's for A. B, start at the origin. We went to the right 2. So that's a +2. But now we're going down. So that's going to be a negative y-coordinate, -3. Notice I put a comma in between and parentheses. And my c-coordinate, over 3, up 3, 3, 3. Next is plotting. So when you are given an ordered pair, remember this is your x and this is your y. That comes second. So I need to go over a +3, that's to the right, 1, 2, 3. And then -4.5, well that's going to be down. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right in the middle, 4.5. If they give you a letter to label it with, then you just label your point. All right, we'll do a couple more of those. Oh, I have them on the, sorry, here they are. Let's graph 2, -2. Start at your origin, go over 2 to the right, down 2. Next one, -1, 7. -1 is my x, so I go left. +7 is up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. -5, -4. X first, then y. -5 to the left. -4 is down. So I have points in almost all my quadrants. Quadrant 1 is still empty. Quadrant 2 has a point. Quadrant 3 has a point. Quadrant 4 has 2 points. Sometimes they might ask you to plot a figure. Nothing changes about how you plot. You'll just connect your points at the very end. So they said to graph a figure with vertices, meaning the corners of the figure. These were all the points that they wanted them to plot. They plotted each point, and then they connect the dots. This figure was a square. So it might ask you what shape you make. Let's try one of our own. Graph a figure with vertices k, 3, 1, over 3, up 1. That's my k. L, negative 2.5, 1. So that's to the left. Negative 2.5, up 1. That's L. And M is negative 2, negative 4. So I move down. That's M. Then I connect them the best that I can. Mine's a little sloppy. Name the figure. That is a triangle. So make sure you read all of the directions. All right, that's the end of our lesson. This brings us to our lesson check with the graph sheet of paper that you already have with your coordinate plane on it. I would like you to plot all of these points, and then we'll show our partners and see if we plotted them correctly.